She was Clara Jennings, 28, a hardworking mechanic in a small garage on the outskirts of the city. Every day she woke before sunrise to open the shop, fix cars, and make sure her younger brother had food on the table. She didn't have wealth, fancy clothes, or a high-profile life, but she had honesty, courage, and determination. She had a heart that refused to be broken by life's difficulties and a smile that brightened even the grayest mornings. Across the city, Ethan Sinclair, 36, a self-made billionaire, lived in a world most could only dream of. Penthouse apartments, luxury cars, and private jets were normal to him. But despite the wealth, he was lonely. Friends often wanted only his money. Family expected perfection, and in all of it, he longed for someone who saw him for who he really was. He wanted laughter that wasn't forced, conversations that weren't calculated, and a touch that felt real, not polite. Neither of them sought love. Their worlds were separate, destined to remain that way, until fate intervened in a storm that would change everything. One rainy evening, Ethan's vintage car, a rare collector's model, coughed, stalled, and refused to start. He was on the way to a charity gala, running late, and his driver had mysteriously disappeared, leaving him stranded on a slick street lined with glowing city lights reflecting off puddles. Seeking shelter and assistance, he stumbled into Clara's garage. She was tired, covered in grease, but polite and kind, her eyes warm yet focused on her work. Clara examined the car carefully, noticing Ethan's anxious, distracted demeanor. He seemed tense, his hands fidgeting, his normally calm face betrayed by worry. She offered to help. Ethan, unused to such humility, was quietly impressed. He offered her a tip, but she shook her head. She didn't work for money. She worked because she loved what she did, because fixing something and making it work again gave her a sense of pride no paycheck could match. That honesty, that simplicity, struck him in a way wealth never had. As the rain poured outside, they shared a brief conversation. Clara asked him questions about his day, his life, and what had brought him to this part of the city. He spoke carefully, giving only glimpses of his life, never revealing his wealth or status. Yet in those small moments, a connection began to form, one built on curiosity, mutual respect, and the simple joy of shared attention. After repairing the car, Clara expected never to see him again, but a week later Ethan returned, casually dressed, avoiding attention, holding no airs of superiority. He wanted to see her, not for her skill, but for her heart. He wanted to hear her laugh, to watch the way she concentrated when she worked, to understand her world without trying to control it. They started spending time together slowly. Coffee after long work days, quiet walks along streets where the world felt distant, sharing laughter and simple conversations that seemed to stretch into hours. Ethan admired her strength and honesty. Clara admired his kindness beneath a confident exterior. They shared stories of struggles, of childhood hardships, of small victories that meant the world to them. Clara spoke of her brother, the sacrifices she made, and the dreams she barely dared to whisper. Ethan spoke of the pressures of his world, the loneliness behind the glimmering lights, and his secret wish for companionship that was true and uncalculating. The connection grew slowly, gently, like a candle flickering to life. Each meeting left them more aware of the other's presence, more attentive to small gestures, a smile, a shared look, the way their laughter mingled in quiet corners of cafes. But the world noticed. When Ethan was seen leaving Clara's garage, rumors spread. Some whispered that Clara was seeking money. Others doubted Ethan's intentions. Clara's friends warned her, worried for her heart. Ethan's associates cautioned him to be careful, that his reputation could be damaged. Even strangers began to speculate, sending messages online and commenting on social media. Clara, feeling the weight of scrutiny, started pulling back. She valued honesty and feared being used. Ethan felt helpless, frustrated that the world's judgments might ruin what was slowly growing between them. Yet neither could ignore the bond that had quietly blossomed, the trust and understanding that had become a secret they both cherished. Then came the twist. Ethan's identity was accidentally revealed. A news photo captured him stepping out of a luxury car at the garage. Clara felt betrayed. Had he been pretending? Was he using her? She stopped returning calls. She avoided seeing him, needing space to process her emotions and protect her heart. Ethan felt a sharp pain he had never experienced. His wealth meant nothing without her presence. He realized he had to prove that his feelings were genuine, not tied to his money, and he began planning a quiet, heartfelt way to show her the truth. Around the same time, Clara's brother fell ill, requiring immediate care she could not afford. Ethan discovered this and acted quietly. Without revealing himself, he paid for the treatment, ensuring everything was taken care of. He left notes of encouragement, small gifts that let Clara know someone cared, yet without drawing attention. When Clara learned who had helped, she was stunned. The gesture spoke louder than words. He didn't announce it. He didn't ask for gratitude. He only wanted to see her safe, her family cared for, her heart protected. The sincerity of the act melted her doubts. She realized she had misjudged him. Slowly, she allowed herself to reconnect. They met again in the same garage where their story began, under soft evening light. They spoke for hours, tears mingling with laughter. Every misunderstanding cleared, every doubt dissipated. The connection they had felt before now became stronger, deeper, unshakable. Over months, their bond grew. Ethan began showing Clara the world beyond the garage, but never in a way that diminished her. He made sure she was comfortable, respected her independence, and included her in decisions without overpowering her. Clara saw the man behind the wealth, kind, genuine, protective, and quietly vulnerable. Ethan saw the woman whose strength, honesty, and compassion outshone any fortune he had. Their love was tested many times, by strangers, by circumstance, by misunderstandings, but each time they emerged stronger, each trial deepening their trust and admiration for one another. They laughed more, cried together, and celebrated even the smallest victories of daily life. Even with private happiness, the public still watched. Social media buzzed with curiosity, sometimes jealousy, but they faced it together, trusting each other, never letting the noise break their bond. Clara's friends and family grew to respect Ethan. His world adjusted to her presence, not by bending her to it, but by embracing her authenticity. One quiet evening, Ethan led Clara to a small garden near the city. Not his mansion, not a public display, but a private place that held meaning. He knelt with a simple ring and heartfelt words, asking her to spend her life with him. Clara said yes, not for money, not for luxury, but because she saw the man she loved, fully, honestly, completely. Their wedding was beautiful, intimate, and full of genuine joy. No extravagance, just family, friends, and love. The ceremony highlighted the lessons of their journey: honesty, patience, resilience, and unconditional love. Today, Clara and Ethan live a life full of laughter, trust, and shared purpose. They continue to help those in need, support each other's dreams, and treasure every moment together. Sometimes they revisit the garage where they first met, and Ethan smiles softly, remembering the night he found the love of his life in the most unlikely place. Clara looks at him, laughs gently, and says, "Who would have thought it all began with a broken-down car?" Ethan replies, smiling, "Who cares? We found everything we ever needed." Love in the end isn't measured in wealth, power, or status. It's measured in trust, kindness, and the happiness shared between two hearts that finally found each other. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more true love stories that will touch your heart. Comment below. Do you believe love can appear in the most unexpected places?